If you're like me, you're one of many people in the United States that have applied and applied and applied over the past few years for jobs and had no return on investment for basically any actionable thing that you've done. Nothing is going well. Nothing is okay. It's been many years like this, and I am I am tired. I am so tired. And I don't know. I just wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit. Maybe some of my experiences lately. So, I originally went to college. I have a bachelor's degree. I graduated in 2020, and it was during the COVID lockdowns. It was right when COVID had sprung up, like 2 weeks before I graduated, and it took me about 2 years after that point to actually get a job that pertained to my degree. And come to find out, the degree that I worked for and paid for with massive amount of debt to myself and my future, the actual pay for the job is about the same as working at a gas station as a gas station attendant in the same city where I lived at the time. I just, right from the get go, was slapped in the face with basically just huge amount of worthlessness, the feeling of worthlessness. I've had, for sure, depression for quite a long time. And I mean, I just kept going. I just kept trying to do different stuff. I worked in that field for a total of, it was about 2.5 years. And I was still making the same amount as if I had not taken on like $40,000 of debt at the time, which to me, that's a lot. I know a lot of people now are probably paying a lot more, maybe 20,000 more than that for their degrees. I still have not completed or completely paid that off, right? So I continued to work in the field that I graduated in while working and knowing that I could never have spent those years and all of that debt to get to that position. I could have just been at the gas station across the street from where I worked and gotten the same amount of money just with a high school degree. And that, I cannot get past that, and I couldn't at the time. So I left for a few months, tried something else out, kind of tricked myself into trying to do a like get rich quick type scheme, or at least I thought so. I thought it would, be something really cool and I would like it, and come to find out it paid about the same amount. Of course, for a few different reasons, I left that and then went back to the same place I was working. And luckily, at the time, at least they took me back. So I worked there another about a year and a half, met my current girlfriend, and we decided to move in together. She lived about an hour away from me in a small town, like very small town. So we moved into a small town that was closer to her family because she's closer to her family than I am to mine. So we moved in together into a small town that's kind of in the middle of nowhere, and it has zero opportunities for anybody that isn't a construction worker. There's a mine, so I could work in the mine, but I'm not going to do that. When I moved out here, it didn't make any sense for me to be making as much as a gas station attendant with my college degree and driving to that other city that I was from to be able to continue that. So I gave that up. After we moved in together in this small town, I quit my job and got a job working for the city. So I became a maintenance technician. It was actually a couple dollar an hour raise from where I was after 2.5 years with my bachelor's degree at that other company. So at the time, I thought that was a win, right? I was like, oh my gosh, I'm self-sacrificing. I'm doing the right thing, moving out here to be with my girlfriend, and everything will pan out. I'm a hard worker. I'm a smart person, but basically every day I don't know. I destroy myself in my mind because everything that I had thought about life was a lie. It's all a lie. We have been lied to. Everything will not work out for everybody. Most of anything that you've been told was not just necessarily a lie, but it's all a scam, and you've been tricked. Your whole life is a scam, basically. And during the time at the local job that I'm at now, I applied and I applied and I applied to different jobs. I applied with my degree. I was trying really hard to get into a career field that was adjacent to the degree that I have, right? And it doesn't matter if you're way, way more capable and you've done higher level things in the past. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your problems. Nobody cares about your life. Again, I just went back and I just kept applying, got nowhere, and I am lost. It's now years later, and I don't think I can do it anymore. I am having like mental exhaustion, mental breakdown. I can't deal with the people I work with. I just don't know how I can continue to put on the facade every day and pretend that everything is okay, or not even pretend that it's okay, but continue to go along with the asinine way that everything functions. Nothing makes sense. And now I'm worse off than if I got a GED. You know, I could have dropped out of high school, got a GED, and I'd be in the same place or better. And it would actually be better because I don't think I'd have so much debt. And I lost years of my life and a bunch of money to get to this point. And this point is nothing. It's empty. There's no sustenance to my life. The place that I live, if you want to go outside and find recreation, the only thing you can do is spend money. And you'd have to drive to another city about 50 minutes away from here to be able to do any of that outdoor activity stuff. There isn't beauty here. It's just farmers' fields. If you want to go outside and see beauty, what you're going to find is a tiny shitty little park. You're going to find a pond, but there's no sustenance to it. It's empty. It's fake. You're going to a fake nature area to walk around in a circle staring at cut grass and a couple trees. It's terrible. The place that I live is terrible, and I feel trapped here. I've recently started applying to jobs in another state, but I have got nothing back, and I don't know where to go from here. So if you have a similar story or you feel the same way, just know you're not alone, and I'm sorry that you're experiencing life this way. I can't give you any advice because I've been lost for like 7 years. I don't know. You know, COVID really messed everything up. So you can go back to about a year before I graduated when I realized that nothing was going to be okay. I think most people probably are underemployed, extremely underemployed. None of us should have to live this way. I think that's the problem, where I can't get through the illusion of everything and pretend to be okay with the way the world is anymore. I don't know how to continue to pretend that anything makes sense at all. Many jobs that you apply to, you will never hear back a single thing from those companies, the HR department. Wonderful people, or wonderful machine, wonderful AI script that just throws your shit in the trash. Many companies post jobs that they never intend to fill. People aren't just getting rejected. Many are applying to jobs that were never real opportunities to begin with. AI filters now reject resumes before humans see them. Applicant tracking systems, ATS systems. Everybody's using AI to make their resume, to fake everything, or lying on their resume, using AI to fake everything to try to trick the AI into allowing them to have the chance at survival. That is horrible. It's horrible. I cannot understand how this is the way that we operate. Entry-level white-collar work is shrinking, and I would say it basically doesn't exist. If you get in, they're probably not going to teach you anything anyway. They're going to let you flounder and probably lay you off. We're competing against software. It seems like our future is what I have been doing for the past few years. And I think everybody is just going to have to become a manual laborer. We're all going to be serf labor for farmers and getting paid worse than we ever have. I remember back in 2016, I was making $12 an hour in 2016. I was living better on $12 an hour than I do now. Outlook on life was 10 times, if not way more than 10 times better than it is now. It's worse for me now than it was when I was 21, 10 years ago. It's insane. And I can't get hired. I applied and applied and applied to my field and only got 2 interviews in the span of, I think it was about 8 months. The job market is not just financially stressful, it's psychologically exhausting.